Welcome back to K-Ratio's Week in Preview. I'm Kyle Littner and I'm here today to provide actionable insight for the future, not recap the past. In this week's episode, we touch on last week's theme to see if a possible trend is developing and one that couldn't come at a better time for freight. With states nationwide lifting stay-at-home orders, that's brought freight volumes along with it. But first, let's take a look at where we currently stand. The lowest national long-haul rate per mile since March 2013 has delivered corporate missed earnings, lower guidance, and workforce layoffs at some of the nation's largest companies, while driving employees of many smaller businesses and owner-operators to online social mediums to voice their frustrations, concerns, and sometimes downright anger. Like many Americans, those in freight find less work to do and lower pay for it, and such is the case in a deflationary business environment. Which makes the situation we find ourselves in today one of optimism, and for some downright hope. With states across the country lifting restrictions, attempts to resume normalcy in our daily lives carries with it expectations of higher business activity and hopefully higher freight volumes. One quick peek at a map shows us exactly where this newfound hope lives. As you can see from the map, a large portion of the country has already reopened in dark green, and many more reopen this week, light green, with only those states in yellow still under restrictions. The largest of states reopening this week, and most important to our conversation, is Florida, reopening today, Monday, May 4th. As we noted last week, Florida has been one of the few bright spots for volumes, especially refrigerated, since a more traditional produce season has returned as a result of rerouted restaurant demand and partial state reopenings in the region. Now, despite the fact that produce season doesn't have much time left in it, resumption of activities in certain sectors like heavy equipment, automotive, and particularly construction typically see a seasonal bump at this time in the calendar. And all of that comes as nationwide the picture in freight seems to get a little bit brighter. National volumes are up 5% since last week and 9% off the lows seen on April 16th. More importantly, this doesn't appear to be a one-off jump in volume, but rather sustained daily growth, giving credence to the idea that the country and freight returning to a more normal version of life. Now, all of this is certainly positive, but this reemergence in volume doesn't mean rates are coming with it as well. This double-axis chart depicting national volumes in green and national tender rejections in white clearly shows why. The lower right-hand corner shows our recent pop in volume and also shows how cancellations have actually decreased during the same time and continue to make new lows each day. Providers will simply take any and every load tendered over. What does that mean for freight this week? Well, nationwide, carriers can expect to see greater volumes overall. Brokers, still no spot, but better contract business. And although you'll find less trucks in some areas, we're still so oversupplied that prices will remain low. Shippers, you can continue to run on autopilot with no cancellations and no rate increases to speak of. And finally, one piece of advice for all. Just because we saw rate increases in Florida last week, don't expect that trend to continue. Anyone who's chasing higher RPMs has already shown up in the area, and volumes will begin to decline this week. So don't be the last one looking for a chair when the music stops. Again, a big thank you to all that continue to submit questions to our open and ongoing Q&A. If you keep sending them, we promise to keep answering them, so leave them in the comments below, send them to info@k-ratio.com, or you can message me directly. And for more information on our award-winning freight intelligence platform or how best to protect your margins, check us out at k-ratio.com. All of you, please stay safe, and thank you again for watching.